Sunday afternoon. We're all set up on Woodland Lake, Coking Farm, for a 48-hour session. There's me, Margot and Barrie, taking a couple of days off work. See if we can sneak one of these stunning fish out for a little midweek session. Gotta be worth a go. Well, as often seems to be the case, we only just finished setting up and sorting ourselves out, and Margot's into a fish. And it's a woodland fish on her new rods. She's a very happy bunny.
Okay, got to christen my new rods. £10 9, caught on Equinox, topped with a full sweet corn. There we go. That's made my day.
First of many, we hope. Oh, hang on. Whoa. There we go. Another Coking Common. It's 11 o'clock at night. This one screamed off, fought really hard, certainly punched above his weight, but he's got a big frame on him. Gonna be a big fish one day. Let's put him back, see if we can get some of the real big ones during the night. Morning. Well, just that one fish in the night. It's now about 5:45 in the morning. As you can see, Margot brought her rods up to be near the bivvy. Last night, still fishing down towards peg 11. Quite a lot of indications, loads of fish crashing in the night, a few odd beeps. Those recast rods in the dark just weren't exactly on the spots. Just redone my rods. They're where they should be now, for sure. And it's still looking very carpy. One of the rigs that we've been using today, and we're both using it on one rod each, is a tube blowback rig made with Rigmarole's Hydrolink. Really, really useful material, really unusual material. It's a braid, and all the strength is in the braid, but the inner core is fluorocarbon, and you can do all sorts of tricks with this one. Let's make up a tube blowback. First job is to remove some of the core. And it's quite simple. If you slide back the outer coating, you'll see that there's a fluorocarbon inner. Now I start by taking off around about 3 inches. I find that's about right for what I want to do. And then you'll have 3 inches of supple at the end. And into that I simply tie an overhand loop for the boilie stop. Pull it tight and trim the tag end. The next thing I need is the tube for the tube blowback. There's a little 2mm piece. That is diffusion rig tube. It sinks and it's a lot more robust than the silicone that most people use. Little 2mm piece. Thread it down the hook link. Down to your hair. Followed by my favourite hook of all, the Nash Fang Twister. This one's in a size 10. As always, for a knotless knot, through the back of the eye. Ooh. down to the hair. But what you have to do next is thread that piece of tube onto the point of the hook, making sure you don't pierce the braid to form your tube blowback. Like so. One hair. And we simply tie that off. You'll notice I'm still on the flexible bit. We tie that off with a 5-turn knotless knot, and now I'm on the stiff material. It's important. And back through the eye of the hook. A bit tricky sometimes to get the braid in rather than just the other end. Back through. Back through the eye of the hook. To finish your knotless knot. There we have the hook tied with a soft hair and a stiff fluorocarbon centered braid hook link. This is where the trick comes in with this material. If you kink the material like so, you can tease that inner core out through the side of the braid. And what I intend to do now is snip a piece away to give me a supple hinge. There's the centre removed, and I now have a supple section behind the hook. But I am also left with a stiff section out of the eye of the hook, forming a liner. With no tube, no messing about, it's built in. It's tied off the knot, and that will always stay in that position. Makes a really good kicker. I then add a sinker, because I like a little weight to the eye of the hook. So I slide the sinker down to the top of the hinge and add just a little smidgen of tungsten putty. Work it up in your fingers, mould it around the sinker. You can do it without the sinker, but I find it falls off, it moves. You put that sinker on, doesn't matter whose you use, Corders, Taskers, anybody you like. You put that on, it gives you something to mould your weight around. So we now have the basics of the rig tied. All that remains is a loop in the other end to attach to your leg clip or your quick release swivel or whatever method you prefer. For that I like to use a perfection loop or a figure of 8 loop. Moisten as always, and with a couple of puller tools pull everything tight. You'll find that the pulling action will also straighten the stiff section of the rig, but if it won't, simply steam it. Trim your tag end, then all it needs is a boilie. The rig won't work properly without a boilie on the hair, so we just stick on a boilie. This is just a standard 14mm bottom bait. Whoops. And then we have the completed rig. And if you take that across the back of your hand, you will find that that immediately flips, turns. It's a combination of the kicker and that weight. If you can imagine that's gone in a fish's mouth, that little weight will always pull that hook down in the... And there we go. Then with Rigmarole Hydrolink and a fang twister, a little bit of tube, a sinker and a piece of putty. That's a rig I'd take anywhere. Well, I was just heading back home for a shower, heard a whistle, and Barry's got a fish on.
Good, buddy.
Nice one!
Not as big as I thought he was.
No, wasn't me.
16.8.
16.8, nice one. Best one of the weekend for us anyway. 16.5 pound. Cracking common, look at his tail. Typical red rimmed tail, woodland fish. Nice one, mate.
Nice and dry under here.
It's pretty dry out here.
Ah! Steve the Swan lover. Lover of all animals.
Don't shut up. Don't put me at all. Don't take the hook out of your little baby's mouth. Ah, that was my fingers, you bastard. You're a groovy thing, you are. What I'm going to do is take that little hook out of your baby's mouth.
Elby.
Come on, baby. Let me take that hook out. Don't make me look away.
Elby.
You don't like you, Al. Go on, back it up. A long shank hook, nothing else in his mouth. You gonna let me help you, baby? He's a greedy. All I want to do is take that hook out of your baby's mouth. Look at it. Not with fingers. We get nowhere, are we? Look at your baby. Eh? You gonna let me do it? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. You pass me a land in it.
Well, Luke, go and gently walk up, don't rush.
Some more boilies. Oh, shut up. You're just all full of wind and piss. Well, that helps a lot.
Luke. Hold on both hands. Like walk slowly.
Waving it above your head didn't help. Come on. Might be handy if I had the forceps at my tackle box.
I hope you're filming this.
I am, yeah. Steve the swan lover. Don't keep putting his wet feet up now. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I'll be back.
In! Elby! In! You get yourself hurt.
There you go. Come on. There you go. Hold on.
Happy swan, cygnet with no hook. Look, and here's the hook here. There we go.
Job well done.
Cygnet couldn't eat any bread this morning. It's really nice to see him
It was trying
enjoying
to
the food.
eat down there this morning, but kept leaving it. And
Yeah.
the adults were actually leaving the bread for him, but he still wasn't eating it. Here's now, look.
It must feel so liberating after having that hook wedged in.
You imagine every time he bite sticking its gob in it.
That was right in the top of his beak. Well, the storm's passed. The wind's turned right round. It's blown into the bivvy now. Doesn't bode too well for the night. A few fish crashing. Still hopeful for a few. Let's see what the night brings tonight. What a beautiful carpy morning. And what could be better than a fish on the line?
Here we go, just had this screamer. Woke me up this morning. Must be 0.4 of an ounce. Here we go. 6 o'clock in the morning, just got woken up by this one. 11.8, caught on the equinox.
What an absolutely gorgeous morning. This is when it's just the most wonderful place in the world to be, doing what we love doing. It's a nice wake up call, common for Margot. I had one little one in the night that's now in the keep net, ready to go off to one of the growing ponds because it was under £8. We've still got this morning and still a chance for one of those big ones. I never like to say anymore.
No, I don't like to say because you just never know.
No, and then you lose it or something, and that's really annoying. Barrie just worships the ground Steve walks on, look. Kneels down before him.
Yeah, one day.
I thought we were going to mug it for a minute.
Oh, right. Oh, I did fluffy cut just about a bit. Oh, I don't do that. Well, there we go. Still not a monster. £11 too. Still plenty of time for another one. I had this one on a solid bag, tight across to the island. Well, it's nearly Tuesday dinner time. We said we'd pack up, be home just after lunch. It's been a good couple of days. Coming in the week certainly made a difference. We've still not caught any monsters, but I've had 3 and lost 1, Margot's had 2 and lost 1, and Barry's had a couple and lost 1 as well. Been none of the real big fish out while we've been here, but it won't stop us coming back. We'll see cooking and carving here again, I'm sure.